What's up, guys? It's your boy Josiah, and you are watching another episode of Cocktails with Josiah. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Cocktails with Josiah. We are back for another episode. I want to kind of take this episode more on a serious light on black women and mental health. I have talked to so many different people, and so I have so many friends who struggle with their mental health, and I just want to be an encouragement to black women in particular and the struggles that they go through. I have Jessica Glass, the owner of Right Mentality, to sit here and facilitate the discussion. I also have special guests Courtlynn Baraka. How are y'all doing today?
Great, thank you.
Good. Thank y'all so much for joining me on this open discussion on black mental health. Jessica, can you just explain, introduce yourself and explain everything?
So my name is Jessica Glass. I'm the owner and therapist of Right Mentality. I am a licensed professional counselor and I'm a licensed chemical dependence counselor. What I do is I provide services to adolescents ages 13 through 17, families, individuals, including couples too. So I provide mental health therapy for majority of anybody. I just don't do children. That's my only unknown specialty, but going forward I do adolescents and adults.
Okay. That's pretty good. So there has been a quote, I'm going to read it verbatim. It said, "The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman." And that is a quote by Malcolm X.
Yes.
So that's, I was just like meditating and I was hearing that statement. I was like, wow, that is like really powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Even reading it.
Yes.
It hit a little home.
Yeah, I'm about to say exactly. Like, yes.
Exactly. Why do you guys feel that quote is important?
Ooh. I think as a black woman, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders.
Yeah.
You have to pick everybody up, and
Yes.
we have to be able to be the mother, the sister, the aunt, the doctor.
Oh, yeah. Counselor. All of it.
Everything. While still dealing with what we have to go through as a person. And that gets overlooked.
And unappreciated too. Like, very.
Very.
Wow.
And I'm just going to say the way that we're portrayed on TV.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch
Basketball Wives.
Basketball Wives.
Yes.
Or even movies, you know, the Mad Black Woman Tyler Perry did.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
Yeah, so it portrayed us in a light that, we're angry, we're black, we're stereotypical.
Right.
And it just, I don't know, there's no safe place to outline the black woman in a positive role model,
Very true.
And when you do, you don't get many views, you don't get many clicks. I mean, Michelle Obama is doing her thing, but at the same time, she needs a force. So, so I think that's why.
And also, it took a while for everybody to accept that she's that woman too.
She's poised.
Yeah, a lot of people was like, okay, what is she's gonna do next? Is she's gonna mess up? And then she never messed up, and everybody she's just like everybody's mom and sister.
Right. Yeah.
So
people were waiting on that scandal. And we never got it.
We never got it. Yes, that's very true. Very true.
She is most biggest influence, I think, to me, because she shows, like you said, that not all black women on Love and Hip Hop acting a fool, fighting over a man,
or a bag,
right?
Throwing dreams.
Because there are in media, I feel like that black women are not represented in the right way. So I definitely agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. There are different stereotypes of black women. Just me researching, and I'm just going to go over them with you guys.
Okay.
Okay, so there's the strong black woman, the angry black woman, and the Jezebel video vixen black woman. The strong black women are legendary, such as Harriet Tubman, Senora Truth. Every black grandmother is renowned in her presence, and they persevere. The angry black woman will cuss you out before hearing you. Tyler Perry, Medea is, she's hilarious, but she is the stereotype of an angry black woman.
Right.
And then the Jezebel video vixen, who's just lost, who sleeps around with everybody, who doesn't really know her self-worth.
Yeah, doesn't know herself yet.
Do you guys, so what do you guys see yourself as Baraka and Courtlynn? What do you guys see yourself more as? And
The fact that it's only 3.
Yeah.
Vegas only 3.
You know, I just try to narrow it down to the
right,
big
to big
categories, you know.
categories. Yeah, no, it's nothing wrong with
at
that.
all, huh?
It's nothing wrong. I say I'm very strong because I've been through a lot of things that I know the typical normal person wouldn't go through or can handle. So I can say I'm strong, but at the same time, it's a good thing to say you're strong sometimes, and then sometimes it's almost like you're sort of scared to say that around certain people.
Like what? What have you been through?
It's not even that. It causes intimidation with people, especially even with men. You could be strong, but you can't be too strong. You know what I'm saying? Because that's intimidation off of an actual male. But I say I'm strong. I don't want to categorize myself as like a vixen, but I mean, or a angry, black woman. I mean, I don't know what woman who want to be that. I mean, we all just want to be strong, but I mean, I'll say I'm strong. That's final answer.
Sure. And the angry black woman is just not only angry. I think she's been hurt. She's been played over and over again, and she doesn't know who to trust. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah.
I think that I know I'm strong, but I have moments of weakness where the angry black woman comes out, especially through situations where dark times like depression and stuff. So you become angry. So I feel like I've been there. I feel like every woman goes through that stage. Either it's how you come out of it. Either you're gonna come out of it, or you're gonna continue to be the angry, bitter, and not want to be happy around other people or causing other people to feel some type of way just by you being in the presence. But I feel like every woman is strong, period.
Yeah, we really are.
Like
a lot of
black,
people.
white, Puerto Rican, every woman is strong.
Yeah, no matter the race.
Yeah, very true.
And every woman is angry at one point. So I feel like I've worn both hats.
And we all have a Jezebel.
I mean, we not gonna not acknowledge that. I feel like every female, for the most part,
of all 3.
Yeah, so like I said, sad to say, the other 2 is more outshines than strong. But on the day to day, I feel like we're strong, and then people just pick out the bad,
out of the,
and then
glorify the sexiness and stuff about us.
Of course.
So,
but then now, sex sells.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, we really don't have a lot of role models for our kids. Like growing up, we had a lot of role models to look at. Down from Oprah Winfrey, even the rappers, they were not as sexual as they are now.
Look
like
at TLC.
Like they
like
were
that.
more empowering. Now it's about scamming and having sex for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I do a little bob to them.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little bob. It's nothing wrong with a little bob.
But it's not what it used to be.
Right, very true. It was more powerful and impact back in the day. Now, like she said, it's nothing about scamming. And
being a stripper, they make more money than a person with a college degree.
Hello.
Like,
we make a year in a couple of days or a week.
Right.
But,
and then girls looking up to that.
Yeah.
They chase that dream, that aspiration, and not really knowing what goes with that.
Right. Especially the mentality of it too.
What you gotta do.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, or become Instagram famous. Like that's everybody's go to
now. Exactly.
So
exactly.
So tell me about an experience where you have suffered from trauma. Has there been a traumatic experience in y'all life that you all have suffered from, and just have any questions for Jessica about how can you get over some things if you feel comfortable talking about them?
I have 2, but you go first, sis.
I don't think I've really been through anything traumatic. My mother died. I mean, it's not, for me it wasn't traumatic because I released her before she died. So by me releasing her, I was okay. Of course I have my days where it's hard, and then there's some days where I'm like, okay, we got this, I would say growing up, having to be the only child, taking care of 2 disabled parents, we made too much money, so we couldn't get an at-home nurse. So I'm in the 3rd grade picking people up off the floor. You know, like, I mean, that I wouldn't say it was traumatic, but it built my character. It helped me to become a strong person, I guess you could say, and just be able to be independent and do my own thing. I mean, I wouldn't say it was traumatic, but it was hard. It was very hard. And with me being the only child, it was rough. And like my friends that understand, I would have an attitude, not knowing as a kid I'm depressed. Thinking, you know, everybody's talking about my parents. Ain't nobody even looking at them. But because of their physical appearance, I felt some type of way. And one, they were already older compared to the normal kids and their parents. Like, my parents old enough to be my grandparents at this point. So, you know, they late bloomers. So it's like, it's your papa? No, it's my dad. You know, it's your grandmother? No, it's my mom. And so, but I thank God. I mean, I haven't really been through anything traumatic because I hear what people have been through. And I commend them because I've been through some stuff, but it's not as serious, I guess. But then to me, everybody's situation is different. So I can't say theirs is more serious than mine when I never know what I would do in that situation. But yeah, I would probably say that would be.
I would say this before I get to you, Baraka. I think that, you know, your story is very inspiring because, you know, we had our conversations, and I'm just, as a friend, I'm just proud of you to see how far you came. You've been friends for a few years now. And I'm proud of you, man. You know, you're still making moves. God still have you here. You're still in your right mind. And you have overcame, and that's a blessing. So just keep it up, and, you know, you have your friends here to support you.
Thank you.
Yes, girl.
And I also want to add too that trauma is from a personal standpoint.
Gotcha.
You know, you can't let anyone tell you that's traumatic. If you didn't feel like what you're going through is a traumatic experience, then it's not traumatic.
Gotcha.
Because everyone goes through something totally different. We all have different aspects. What would have tore me down might have been your strength.
Gotcha.
You know, so some people say, "Oh, that's traumatic. You went through a traumatic experience," but in reality, that was just my personal growth or my personal setback.
Yeah.
You know, so like if I was in a car accident and it just broke me, or if you were in a car accident and it strengthened you and then you like, I saw God and it just changed my whole life. Right? For you, that was a different thing than it was for me. So you have to take things in stride and take it as if, you know, what I see in my lens is totally different from what someone else sees. And you know, people always say, put yourself in my shoes. And if they can't see what you see, it's just empathy. You know, it's just empathy.
Very. I went through two things traumatic. Well, I don't even want to say it's traumatic. The first one was I was 7 years old. The month of September, I hate when it comes. And what happened? I was like, 7 years old. 9/11 happened. So my dad, if anybody knows, my dad was in the military, so he had to leave. So that happened. My parents got divorced, and my mom's boyfriend, because they're, like I said, they were separated, so they was trying to, you know, overcome that. But my mom had a boyfriend, and we found him dead, all in the same month of September. So that was sort of traumatic to the point where even right now, me and my mom, like, we're like, what's wrong with our eating habits? And I'm just like, and it always happens around August, September, October. Our appetite is really just non-existent. And I'm like, I really think, because my mom said, what is wrong with us? And I'm just like, I really think that's what happened. Because like literally over the course of years, I've noticed like, we don't eat around this time. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on?
Thanksgiving coming up.
Right. And it's just like, what's going on? But that was very traumatic for me, especially, like I said, as well. I'm the only child between my parents. I have a half brother, but I'm the only child between my parents. And that was a lot to deal with as a child. And, you know, going through that and then trying to be there for your parents, even though you're young. But, you know, they going through traumatic things themselves. And, you know, that was a lot going on. So that was traumatic. Like I said, I'm still to this day, I'm trying to, like, get myself to eat around this time. But it takes a minute, you know, but I'm going through it. And then when I was 19, I had cervical cancer. So that was a lot to deal with because I'm dealing with that. My grandma had died around that time. I had failed classes. It was the end of the semester. I had got stopped in Waller County. They had hovered my car like I was selling drugs or something.
Wow.
I went through all of that literally in the midst of like a month.
Yeah.
So that was very traumatic for me too. And it was sort of hard as well because a lot of people, when you tell people you have cancer, if you tell people something in a sickness, I found it weird because a lot of people was sad for me. It was more so I had to comfort them when I was the one that's supposed to be comfort. Like, everybody's crying and everybody had, like I said, they was crying. I mean, not doing the most, because of course that was something big, but doing the most, and I'm the one has to comfort them. It's gonna be okay, and then I'm the one. I mean, not trying to be funny, but I'm the one that's dying at the moment, and and I'm like, okay. And every night I literally used to go to my room and just cry myself to sleep because literally nobody was there for me. It was more so I had to be there for everybody else. So those were the two traumatic things. But I'm getting better because I used to be one of those type of people to keep all that in. And I'm trying I'm trying not to really just let it just hinder me and take me back. I'm trying to move forward. So that's what I've been doing.
You are amazing.
No, thank you.
Do you have any remarks towards that?
So for one, as a child, when it comes to traumatic experience, we always ask, some people ask, how did that impact your life? How did that shape your behaviors?
I was bad.
You were bad?
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. What did your bad look like?
Like, I was angry, so I was fighting. Disrespectful to my parents. When my friends would come over, they were like, why are you so rude? Baby, because I just had to get up at 5 o'clock this morning,
So you were carrying a lot on your shoulders.
And then my father turned to alcohol, so that made a drastic change in our household. Like, they were still married up until she died, but that was a struggle. I really don't talk about it.
I commend you for talking.
Yes.
But that was a struggle. So dealing with 2 disabled parents, he's drunk, I was, I'm not gonna say I was like bad, but going from being the perfect child to acting out, it was a change. I think I like in middle school, probably like my 8th grade year. It's like, I'm over this, like y'all can have this. My childhood already gone at this point. I'm about to start high school. I'm grown. I mean, the only thing I wasn't doing was paying bills. But I mean, I was getting a check for me anyway, so them paying the bills, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, and then like my daddy, we just didn't have the best relationship. We didn't get a good relationship until I had to like literally force myself when my mama died. Like, I was like, okay, it's just you and I at this point.
But now, in a sense, with all that has happened in your past, that made you more, I hear you say you were strong. You're strong. And now, are you able to be weak?
Yeah.
That's deep.
That's a real deep question. That's a very deep question.
Yeah. Behind closed doors.
Yeah. Did I say behind closed doors?
I'm not going to do it.
And I want to share that these conversations do get deep. They do. And for a lot of us, being African American, going through so many things, we all have different experiences growing up. Whether we had to take care of someone, if we had problems at school with bullying, if we had to change our personality to fit in, we all had to go through different things where our identity was lost in our childhood. And then in adulthood, we had to reinvent ourselves. In a sense that I had to separate myself from my past in order to be who I am today. If not, I would have been that same angry little girl. I would have been the same broken little boy. And these are topics that I thank Josiah for having, because we don't talk about those things. These things that I share with my friends, I might share with 1 or 2 people, but I never seek professional help. And I learned how to cope with these things in a destructive way. Some people turn to drugs and alcohol. Some people turn to, other street life situations, but you don't think that, hey, I have people who have professional help that can give that to me. And I don't seek that for myself because I gotta be strong. And I think that's what these women have shared, that I have to be strong. And in a sense that when I asked you, when were you weak? You have to have some vulnerability to yourself in order to make you feel like I'm human. This is my story, but I also need to let it out.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing that.
With me, I can say, I'm starting to become, but the crazy part is, of course, everybody's time is different.
Yeah.
And when I was younger and around that age and stuff like that, I guess you can say I was the typical, just sad, because I was diagnosed with severe depression at that age. So just naturally just being sad all the time, being to myself. I had friends, of course, but I mean, at the end of the day, I still felt alone. So I mean, that it was more so that, because see, now I'm trying to get away from that, and I feel like I'm setting myself back into that right now, because I'm not really close with that many people. Because even you will even text me sometimes, and I'll go ghost, and then everybody be like, well, where is she at? You know, yeah, a lot of people, they be like, where you been? I'm a fashion blogger, and like, for example, I haven't posted in a month, and I'm used to posting like 3 times a week, and I haven't posted in a month. And it's just, it sets back, because of course, you know, I'm trying to get all my feelings and vulnerability together. And sometimes I feel like I can't be weak, because I feel like if I do, it'll send me back. But that's about it. I'm trying to, I guess that, because I gotta be strong once again. I just feel like once again I have to be strong for so many other people right now. And it's sort of like, what's the point of being vulnerable? Because it's sort of like, be vulnerable, and then you see all these other people vulnerable, and of course that's the woman and the nature in us to, okay, well, let me help you, and all this other things like that. But I think that's sort of where I'm at right now, but I think I'm breaking it a little bit, because I wasn't vulnerable for a long time, because I'm always on the move. I'm always like, okay, let me do this, let me do that, so I won't get vulnerable. But now I'm coming back to it, and yeah, I tell everybody it's okay to cry sometimes. It's okay, you know, it's okay to cry.
It is.
You release this emotion out of your body after you just let it all out. So I try to do that sometimes.
And I'm very proud of you. You know, I know for myself, I mean, you know, even as a black man, for years I've been through traumatic experience with feeling rejected and not feeling loved. You know?
Right.
So I think for me, over the years, I have been masking my hurt, my pain.
Right.
You know, with a fake smile. But recently, in the past year, the mask cracked.
Right.
And it all came down on me on one shot. Like, the mask was just off. And now it was like I'm dealing face to face. I feel like God put me in a position where I was dealing face to face with my insecurities and my rejection. And I didn't know how to deal with it. So it's good, like I said, it's good that we're having this open discussion, because there's a lot of people who don't know how to deal with their struggles. You know, some people go smoking or over drinking, you know, finding love in all the wrong places. So it's good that we're having that open discussion.
I agree. Yeah. And even with you, I hear you say that I couldn't be weak because I had to take care of so many people. And I think society has unconsciously taught us that if we're weak, it's a negative thing.
Right.
Yeah. If I'm weak, then that means that I don't have it all together. But in reality, being weak is just a form of, this is my trying time. Right. I need to go and I need to dig deeper and see what I need to get out. And if you're taking care of so many people around you, when is your time?
Right.
That's how I was like, when my mama died, I didn't have time to sit. Actually in it. Like in school, moving back, and it was like, if I break, everybody else around me is gonna break.
Yeah.
So I just had to keep it moving until I was able to sit in it. And I still didn't sit in it. It was like, okay,
let's
sat in it.
Let's
get to work. And then I started working and stayed at work. It didn't really sit in until I moved to Houston.
Wow.
And I've been here for like 3 years.
Where
and
you
she's
from?
East Texas.
Okay.
and she died 6 years ago. But I was constantly working, and I didn't have time, like, because I was out. Like, she was the glue, basically, that held the family together. So it was like, now I have to pick up
Pieces.
their role, and so like, even like the week that she died, everybody was calling her. I can't plan the funeral if you call.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
and nobody wanted to help, or they didn't want to step on any toes. Even like when we went into the room right before she died, like the day before, it was like, well, we gotta wait on you to go. And I went in the room. I'm not gonna like go that deep. And I came out, and that's like, I think this what helped me to get through that week, because I broke down, and I was like, okay. And it was like when they looked at me, everybody else just fell out. And they didn't even know, like at the time she wasn't even dead. Like, but she was in a coma, but nobody really knew what the situation was. But it was like, okay, I done broke down. Let's get this, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this ball on the road. Let's get it going. And everybody else just kind of fell in line, and I had to just keep it together until, like, I kept it together until I would be at home.
By yourself.
And then I would
close doors, man.
over drink, stay out all night, wouldn't come home. Like, my daddy would literally have to come find me, because I was just out. Like, I wasn't, you know, like, getting into trouble, but I was
You just
out.
trying to keep your mind off of it, I understand.
And I didn't want to be at home because she wasn't there. But not knowing this is the steps that I'm going through, I'm just thinking, I just don't want to be here. So I didn't have a choice to be weak, really. And I feel like as a black woman, we don't have a choice to be weak.
Right.
They don't. When you are weak, it's like a bad thing.
Bad thing, yeah.
But then they get upset when you too strong.
Too strong.
So it was like, I need.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, before we close this out, do you guys have any last remarks, or, you know, just anything that you feel like the viewers should know, or any advice for somebody who is actually going through their tough times and really does not know who to reach out to or what to do in a situation, who just feels stuck?
Seek professional help.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And,
Yeah.
There's a difference between praying about it and being intentional about it. Prayer is not a bad thing. Prayer is great. But God also put people on earth for you to have in place of prayer. Meaning, I can pray about it and I can still get help. The same way if I have a cold, I'm not just going to sit with my cold. I'm going to go get medication. I'm going to go to the doctor, see, make sure it's not pneumonia. I'm going to do all my steps before making sure that I'm good. Just as well as you do that, your mental plays a part in that as well. So go get professional help. And in contrast, when you're praying about it, make sure that you're not living under that umbrella where people tell you, it's okay, you strong, you got this, and no one is validating your feelings. Sometimes you just need one person to validate what you're going through. Sometimes you don't even want them to say anything. Just let that person vent. So for all your friends and family members who are watching this, give that person or yourself that space to just really let it out with no apologies. As black women, the number one thing I've heard that black women do is we over apologize.
Yeah.
Stop apologizing for what you feel and start living in your truth.
That's good.
Yes,
That's
I feel like that's number one thing that we do.
Yeah,
We apologize
Yeah.
to avoid conflict, all of it. Yeah, but I say the same thing. I felt like I agree with you two ladies, especially getting a degree in psychology, and you know, it's when you first go into it, you know, you naturally just want to help people.
Yeah.
You know, when you get into it, and then when you get in more depth about it, you're like, wow, like you can really like get help and
It's
not
so
get
much
judged.
deeper.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
much deeper than
Yeah.
what people think. Psychology and emotions, it can go very, very, very deep. And when I was 7, I did go and get therapy with all of that, because that was a lot for a child. That's a lot for a child to go through. So I really believe in going to get help. Even if you don't get professional help, like you said, go and get from that one person that you know that won't judge you and all that other stuff. So I truly believe in that. That's like one of my main things that I try to get everybody to do. So yeah.
Well, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in with Cocktails with Josiah on this deep conversation for Black mental health. Thank you so much, Baraka. Thank you, Courtlynn, for sharing y'all experiences. That was really deep, and I really appreciate you guys for this. I feel like this will be healing some people. Thank you, Jessica Glass, for just your input and also just really shedding light on the situation and your knowledge. It's very appreciated. Well, this is Cocktails with Josiah, guys, and we are out. Peace.